So we will get started with this special meeting of the City Council of Hillsboro, Kansas. I call the meeting to order. Even though it was not on the published agenda, I think again that it's important that if people are attending the meeting, that they have the opportunity to address the council. And so as we did last week, we will do again this week, which is we will start the meeting with public comment. Public comments will be limited to 2 minutes, and we will ask for decorum to be maintained. And if we have an issue there, we will have Mr. Stiles will mute the conversation, and we will ask you to regain decorum, and we will let you back in. And if we can't, we'll have to end your participation. I will also say that at last week's meeting, we had quite a bit of chat going on with using the chat feature after the public comment period. And so I have asked Mr. Stiles to turn off the chat today. So I will encourage you to use the opportunity for public comment to express your views or your opinions to the council at the beginning. And once we're done with that, we will move into taking up the ordinance, and there will be no further public comment at that time. Any questions from the council regarding that? Okay, hearing none, Mr. Stiles is the moderator of this meeting, and I will ask him to manage any public comments. So if somebody wants to address the council, now is the opportunity.
If you could, if someone wants to address the council, if they could use under the participant bar, there's an option to raise their hand. That would be the easiest way to get your attention there, and we'll open it up to let you speak. Got one person who's connecting to the audio right now, so maybe give them an opportunity. If anyone would like to have public comment, now would be the time to do that. You can access that by raising your hand under the participant menu.
Again, as I said last week, I'm willing to be patient here. This is not, we're not in a hurry to get this meeting over. It's about being open and transparent. And again, we value your input if you have something to say.
Got a few people who are joining in now. Again, if you have anything and would like to address the council, you can raise your hand under the participant button and we'll get you unmuted and you can have an opportunity to speak. Jonah, did you want to make a public comment?
No, I'm on my phone and I don't know how to use this stupid thing.
Okay, I'm going to mute you then.
All right, please do. Thanks.
I recognize that it's uncomfortable to just deal with silence, but you know, again, it's not about being uncomfortable. It's about giving people an opportunity. So I will say, Mr. Stiles, if we don't have any public comment in the next 3 minutes, that we will move forward.
Okay.
So my time is 6:06. So at 6:09. If no one has raised their hand or would like to address the council, we will move forward.
Okay. Again, if you'd like to make a public comment for the council, you can select the raise your hand function under the participant window. We'll get you unmuted and you'll have an opportunity to speak for 2 minutes. Had a few folks just join in. So if you'd like to address the council, this is public comment period. The participant screen under the participant menu, you have the option to raise your hand and we can get you unmuted and you can address the council through public comment period.
Again, for those just joining, we had a lot of people trying to submit public comments during our deliberations last meeting via the chat feature. I asked Mr. Stiles to disable that feature for today's meeting, not to limit public comment. This is the opportunity to do that, but to keep it from being a distraction while we're trying to deliberate. So that is the reason for that. If you have a question, if you have a comment, now is absolutely the time to do that. And if we don't hear from somebody in the next 60 to 90 seconds, we're probably going to move forward and close public comments. Last call. Last call. Anyone? Are we clear, Matt?
Yep, we are good.
All right, public comments are now closed, and we will move into our business at hand today, which is taking up proposed ordinance number 1322. I will start out by saying the reason that we are meeting today and we are taking up this ordinance, and some might question why we're doing that when the county opted in to the governor's executive order number 2068. And the reason for that is that executive order has no enforcement mechanism. And that doesn't, it really doesn't do anything for us other than what we've had in the past. And I think enough people have recommended that we do more. And I feel like we need to do more. And I am firmly behind this ordinance. We made a couple of adjustments based on our meeting last Tuesday, and those are incorporated into the ordinance you have in front of you. To consider this ordinance, it must be stricter than the state's, the governor's executive order, and we meet that requirement by the enforcement and penalty piece of this ordinance. But we have made those adjustments that we discussed last week that will, again, not exclude anyone from this, but it makes it a little clearer, and it does allow for some of the things that make the businesses operate a little easier, which is not to have to wear a mask when they are when no one is present, and also to not hold the business owner liable for acts of the public. So those are the primary changes that we dealt with last week, and those have been incorporated into this. And so I will turn it over to Mr. Stiles, and you can, Matt, you can add anything you'd like to, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so everything that Lou said is basically kind of encapsulated there. There's some different elements to it, and because we have the penalty provision, it's technically a stricter ordinance than the governor's executive order, which the county adopted. So we have a little bit of flexibility there, and we also included the FAQs, so you kind of had an idea of how that enforcement would go. I think one of the other things that was interesting about kind of how the governor's order is written is the elements regarding places of worship end up being a little bit different in the executive order. Some of the processes that people have already put in place wouldn't meet that order. For example, if you were able to be socially distanced 6 feet within an enclosed, in the sanctuary area, that wouldn't necessarily meet the executive order, but under our ordinance it does. So, that there's a little bit of some fine tuning we were able to do with this ordinance versus what the executive order includes. And I don't know if Josh has anything to add as far as the differences between the ordinance and the executive order, or kind of what that is.
I'm happy to answer any specific questions that the council has in regards to that. I guess just briefly, generally, a quick legal background. The governor's executive order is authorized pursuant to state statute, the Kansas Emergency Management Act, which is primarily under KSA Chapter 48, Article 9. So, and the county does not have home rule authority. So our ordinance is issued under home rule authority. The county takes their actions pursuant to statute, which also includes the authority to act under the Kansas Emergency Management Act. So that's the primary difference, I guess, kind of between them. And that also makes a difference under enforceability. Matt talked about that. We'll be able to enforce this through the structure and the mechanism that's outlined in the ordinance itself and the city's home rule authority, versus the county would enforce it pursuant to House Bill 2016, which amends KSA 48-39 or 939, sorry, under Chapter 60 of the Kansas Civil Code. So.
Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Stiles or City Attorney Boehm? Hearing none, I would accept a motion to approve ordinance number 1322 and authorize the mayor to sign.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman McCarty. We have a second by Councilman Driggers. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, we will poll the council. Councilman McCarty,
Yes, sir.
Councilman Gehring. You're muted, Renee, I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, because we already have the state mandate going into effect.
I didn't hear Renee's response. Did you, Matt?
Yeah, she said no because the state mandate is going into effect.
Okay. All right, Councilman Lowen,
Yes.
Councilman Driggers.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Ordinance number 1322 is approved, and I will be proud to sign it. And it will be published next Wednesday. Is that correct, Mr. Stiles?
That's correct, sir. It'll be in the Marion Record on the 2nd, so it'll take effect on the 2nd.
Okay. And did we change the end date? Because this is not a permanent ordinance.
No, it is set to expire on the 26th of January.
Okay, very good.
Let's talk a
All
little
right.
bit about FAQ, could we? On the FAQ? How you'll distribute that how, Matt?
Yeah, we'll put it out on the website and on Facebook. And then, you know, if people want to come in and get paper copies, we'll do that too, so that they can have an opportunity to look at that. We'll send it to the newspaper and newspapers and have that, you know, they can ask questions, and maybe we'll print some of that. I'm not sure. That's completely up to them. But yeah, that's kind of how we'll approach handing that out. And one of the other things that we have just kind of in there that's included is that we've purchased some masks for businesses. So if there's businesses that wants to hand out masks, we have a few of those available to get them and get it out to them so that they can hand those out.
And
And we'll
another
also have signage too.
I was going to bring that up. So you're working on the signage?
Yeah, we'll have to have that printed. Baker Brothers will do that for us. Hopefully we'll have that all by December 2nd.
Okay.
Any other questions? I appreciate every one of you. And I know that this has been an extremely challenging issue for us to deal with, but these are extremely challenging times. And again, you know, I will state that an ordinance or a mandate with no enforcement or no practical enforcement mechanism is nothing but guidance and a request, which we've tried and hasn't worked. And so, you know, I appreciate the council for taking this up and moving the ball forward. And I've heard from a variety of people in the medical area that also appreciate your action. So thank you very much. And again, it's a tough issue, but I feel like we've addressed it in a positive way. This is not about writing tickets. This is not about harassing people. This is about getting folks to do the right thing. And I think we've accomplished the means to do that. So my thanks to you. And is there any other business that needs to come before the council today?
Where's the chat?
The chat has been disabled. The public comment period was open at the beginning. We had that open for well over 10 minutes and nobody chose to speak to the council. And so last time the chat was going throughout the meeting and quite frankly was a distraction, and the public had the opportunity to speak during the public comment. to whoever I was addressing. Okay, with no other business to come before the council, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Great Thanksgiving, everyone.
You
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving.
Stay safe.